How to use your talent to make money, a step-by-step guide. In this video, we'll explain why you should start using your talent to make money. In today's day and age, information is so important. You have to find your own talent and use it to make money. However, finding your own talents and using them to make money is not an easy task. You have to invest time and effort in it, but the benefits of doing so are worth the effort that you put in. Here are some reasons why you should start using your talents to make money. Step 1. Profit. Profit, by definition, means an advantageous gain, return, or benefit. You cannot ethically profit without helping others. The goal of profiting is to build your wealth. Now, what that means is building the lifestyle you want. Here's the reality. It's not about fancy cars or houses or watches or champagne. It's about living the way you want. What that means is being able to do what you want, when you want, where you want, however long you want, with whomever you want. What selling really means is exchanging solutions for money. Think about that, because that equals value. People aren't giving you their money, not ethically or honestly anyway, without seeing some value, meaning having a solution delivered to them in one way or another. You should never feel guilty about that. Here's another thing. People talk about making money. You don't make money. The late, great Earl Nightingale, the Dean of Personal Development, he said that the only people who make money work at the mint. Everyone else earns it. Never feel guilty about earning it. It's about doing what you do best, easiest and quickest to create solutions, therefore becoming valuable to others and leveraging that value for money. Finally, the best way to profit is by honestly doing what you love, profiting through your passion. That's what we're going to talk about in the next step. Step 2. Passion. This is where you start deciding, what is it that you love to do? What do you do for free? What are your favorite hobbies, your favorite music, your favorite films, your favorite foods? I want you to understand something. If you're going to do anything, you should do it with passion. 98% of this world has no passion. They're doing it for the money. If you do it for the money alone, you're going to run out of fuel very quickly. You should make your vocation your vacation and feel as though you'll never work another day again in your life. Did you know almost every exciting opportunity that's out there to earn money can be tied into your passion? Whether it be fly fishing, whether it be cooking, whether it be some sort of hobby of yours that involves sports, there is a multi-million-dollar business in each and every one. All you have to do is begin to examine your passions. What are your passions right now? I guarantee you somebody is making millions in each and every one of your passions. Especially when you talk about the information age, there's a subject out there that's waiting for you. In fact, your money is waiting on you. Passion is going to be your key to profit. List your top 3 to 5 passions. What do you love to eat? What are your favorite movies? Just keep listing them again and again. It is your passion that tells you whether you are going to be positioned to profit. Step 3. Decision. You have an important decision to make, and that involves what isn't working and who isn't working. Let's start with what isn't working. What strategies, tactics, methods and habits are not working to make you wealthier, happier and healthier? Be honest with yourself. What isn't working? List them down. No one has to see what you're listing, but you must list them down immediately. Now let's talk about who isn't working. This is a touchy subject. There are 5 different types of people you have in your life. People who make the same mistakes over and over and over again. People who are negative. People who care about nothing. These are the friends who, when you ask, "Hey, what's happening with you?" and they say, "Nothing," all the time. There's never anything going on with them. They don't care either way. They're living life by default, not by design. People who make you feel drained. Every time you talk to them, they just drain your energy. People who always try to manipulate your time. The unfortunate part about all 5 of these types of people is that many times you can't identify them immediately. That's why it's important that for 72 hours to 7 days, begin to write down your conversation. The late, great Jim Rohn said that we're the average of the 5 people we talk to the most. You're going to be able to narrow down, from your work, community, personal life, who isn't working. After having a conversation with someone, make 4 columns on a piece of paper or on an Excel sheet with the following. Column 1 is going to be subject. You're going to have a brief moment where you write exactly what you were talking about. Not word for word, but enough to show you were paying attention to what was actually said. The second column is the amount of time you spent talking with this person. The third column, which is probably the most important column out of all of them, is how you felt after you had that conversation. The fourth column is their name, who you actually spoke to. You want to begin to see who you're talking to, how much time you've given them, which is the most important thing in the world that you have, and how you felt about the conversation. You will begin to immediately identify the wrong people in your life. How do you get them out of your life? Very simple. Why is that vultures don't fly in space? The answer to that is the environment is not conducive for them to do so. Well, you're going to develop your own environment that's not conducive for these 5 types of people to come into your life. Once you've identified them, this is how you're going to either change them or get rid of them, keeping in mind that you can't actually change a person, but you can change yourself. And therefore have an influence on them, possibly changing them indirectly. They're either going to change like you're changing, or they're going to go away. Those are the choices. But you're not going to be directly confrontational with them. You're going to become busy. That's all it is, busy. They can't talk to you if they can't reach you. They can't email you if you keep taking your time to email them back. Don't dedicate your time to people who unfortunately don't matter. If you have identified them as one of those people who are not helping you get where you need to go, who are not thinking in the right place, who doesn't sound like the type of person you want to be around, why have them around? Why allow them to come into your life? They might be nice people, but nice people you can talk to maybe once a month. Nice people you can talk to every couple of months. I have some nice people I only talk to once a year. They're nice people, but they have nothing going on that's going to benefit me. What I mean by benefit is people who are going to build you up and speak great things into your life. They don't fit into any of these 5 types of people. They're not draining you. They're not manipulating your time. They're not doing the same foolish things over and over again. They care about something. Every time you talk to them, they don't tell you there's nothing going on. And they most certainly aren't negative. You have to begin to identify the people in your daily and weekly life, because that's going to determine your mindset moving forward. We'll talk more about mindset in step 4, but you have to begin to guard your mind, your body, your soul. Becoming busy does that immediately. The first time I did this years ago, decades ago, I did this and I discovered there was a friend who unfortunately continued to talk about themselves all the time. That's the only conversation that they have that's worth anything, just talking about themselves. What I did is become busy. Why do I want to listen to someone talk about themselves 24/7? That's not something I want to dedicate my life to, and I don't think that's something you want to dedicate your life to. It's not that you don't want to listen to a friend. Keep in mind, we have those moments when we want to share those frustrations with our friends and vent, and yes, we listen to our friends' lives, absolutely. But this isn't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone who is constantly and consistently having a me fest, and that's not the type of person that you want to dedicate your time as you move forward in your goals. Who are you walking with? Who are you around? If you don't make the decision to identify the problem, you're going to have a hard time solving it. The second part of that is, if you don't make the decision to take action on a daily and weekly basis to remove the problem, you're going to have a harder time moving forward. As we go into step 4, which is mentality, remember this. As you go into mentality and pour positivity into your mindset, it's hard to get rid of those stains in the glass if you don't get a new glass or clean the glass. If you don't start fresh, you have to clean your glass. That's what this decision part is about. You've got to get out of your life what isn't working, whether it be strategies or people. Begin to identify the people who aren't on your team. They're not necessarily hating on you, but they're not on your team. They have a different agenda than yours, and you need to find like minds. Just on the internet alone, there are 3 billion people. I guarantee you there is somebody who will speak great things into your life, just as much as you will into theirs. Let's move on to the next step. Step 4. Mentality. This is where we get to programming your mind like a news station. I want you to understand that what you put into your head each hour is going to be very important. Here's what I mean by that. Every hour in the day, you are going to program your brain with positive messages. Go to YouTube or Google, and you will find millions of free and paid messages out there. There's no shortage of content, only a crisis in commitment. I want you to understand also that you can absolutely begin to change the way you feel. Remember, I said the most important way to profit is through your passion, the way you feel. Begin to look at that feeling mentality, that connection you have to what you love. When you begin to hear impassioned people every day, it has an effect on you. Whether you're reading it from your PDF, from a book, from Kindle, whether you're listening to it as an MP3, whether you're watching it as a video, it doesn't matter. The point is that it's filling your head so the negative can't come in. Negative and positive can't live in the same space. When you fill your head with negative, it stays there and the positive doesn't get in there. When you fill your head with positive, it does the same exact thing. Let's fill your head with positive thoughts, positive notes and positive people. That's why I said in step 3, decision, you've got to remove what is not working, whether it be a strategy or a person. You have to begin to identify and remove. When you identify it, they can't fill your head with the wrong thoughts. You need the right ones, and they're out there. There's tons of content out there. Commit yourself, every hour, to something that's going to help you with your mentality. Step 5. Talent. This is what strangers have told you that you do the best, since you were a child. Your talents are what you do easier than most, what you do quicker than most, what you do better than most. Each and every one of us have at least 3 talents. I want you to list the 3 to 5 talents you have. Within those talents are the ability to give you better leverage and for people to see you at your best. That's the most important thing. People have to see you at your best. When they see you at your best, they begin to believe that you are the best and pay you the best. This is one of the 4 powers that I'm going to share with you in this series, that you're going to leverage to earn more money. When people see you at your best, they pay you the very best. Don't believe me? Look at athletes. When they're at their best, they're earning the top dollar. In this case, it could be anything. It doesn't have to be physical. It could be mental. It could be anything that you naturally do. Make a list. Don't discount one thing. Too often, we are discounting our talents. Too often, we're saying, oh, well, that's not a big deal. It is a big deal. It is a God-given talent, and you need to use it. You were born with it. It was coded into you. There's a saying, we were born to win but conditioned to lose. We were conditioned to do less than our very best. The biggest thing in the world that you can do right now is recognize your talents and begin to position them to get greater leverage and earn more money. We'll talk more about that throughout the rest of the steps. Step 6. Skills. What have you finally tuned over time? Skills. You may not have started out with the biggest talent in the world, but do you know the most successful people in the world were the ones who had skills? They didn't have natural talent. For instance, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was not the most talented. He was the most skilled. When he was a kid, he couldn't get into his junior league basketball team. He had to work at it. What have you worked at that you already have and you're not using it to the best of your abilities? We're talking about you using your talent, your skills, your education, your experience, in a way that you already have it, to a place where you can leverage and earn more. When we talk about skills, it's something you learn from work, something you learn from life, something you learn from trial and tribulation, something you developed over time. You may not have been the best, but you can do that in your sleep. Name your 3 to 5 skills and discount nothing. Everyone has skills. There's an old saying, having skills to pay the bills, and that's true. You have those skills. They are there. But it's greater than the bills. You can use your skills to build your wealth. This reminds me of a story of a guy who lost his job at a very famous coffee shop. He didn't know what to do, but he loved coffee, knew more about coffee than he ever possibly could imagine because he loved it, that was his thing. But he didn't have a job anymore. He began to start his own blog and talk about coffee and recommend coffee beans and all sorts of different flavors from around the world. He became a trusted source for coffee, globally. Because of that, he was able to create a specialized status within that niche, to where he could earn money. How did he do that? He did advertising and recommended blends as an affiliate. He also did some incredible things when it comes to creating his own blend. He started branding his own blend. He had skills. Yes, he a little bit of talent, but he had skills. He didn't have a lot of skills at blogging and setting up websites and things, but he did have a lot of skills at blending and creating coffee. He used those skills and leverage those skills to earn more money. You can do the same thing. List your 3 skills. There may be billion-dollar companies that you worked at that have trained you to have those skills, but you always thought they were for a job. No, they were for you to leverage no matter where you go, whether it be to another job or be to start your own business. List your top skills. Step 7. Education. What have you learned from within your mind? The word education comes from the ancient word educo, as in to induce, withdraw from within. The best form of education is not formal, believe it or not. It's from life. That doesn't mean you didn't have fun and you didn't get an education in school. That means within your school, and good teachers and professors try to tell you this, it's not about the quiz and the exams. It's about what you have truly learned that you can apply to your life. The real professors, the real teachers out there are the ones who are teaching you in a way that it's fun, where you're enjoying it and where it becomes not a chore but a passion. Again, you want to make your vocation your vacation. Your education involves that as well. Your vacation, something you have fun with. Some of the best learning lessons I ever received, in or out of a school, were based upon fun. When it's fun, the level of interest goes up. List 3 to 5 lessons that you received, whether it was formal or life education. It's all about what you have learned and how much fun you had learning it. If you think of your hobbies, think of all the things you've learned through your hobbies. You have a ton of education that you probably didn't even think about. You end up discounting your own education, because you figure, well, there's no money in that. Believe it or not, there's money in everything. Step 8. Experience. Experience is the best teacher. We've talked about talent and skills in education, but the most powerful thing is experience. You learn through doing. Knowledge is not power. It's only potential power. The actual definition of power is the ability to act, and when you act, you gain experience. There are 3 types of experience that are probably the most powerful that you'll come across as life experience, work experience, experience you gain through crisis. In other words, you went through something and you were able to get through them and realize this too shall pass, and it made you a stronger person. It taught you things like communication, politics, teamwork, human assessment, and yes, survival. These are things that you, through your wisdom, because remember, wisdom isn't gained without experience. These are things that you can apply right now, from wisdom, from experience. You can leverage this for money. Experience will open more doors for you than you ever thought possible. People want people who have been through the trenches. If you've been through some trenches, if you have been through these experiences, then there's a good chance you can leverage them. List 3 to 5 experiences that you've had. Focus more on those experiences and think about you can leverage that experience. You may not have that answer. That's all right. I'm going to talk more about that in Step 9, Action. List out your experiences, but don't discount anything. Step 9. Action. Living in the art of the now, you've got to do it quick and you've got to move quickly. When it comes to your business, it's like going up a winding staircase. You don't know where it's going, but you know you're getting somewhere. If you are not focused on doing something right away and you procrastinate, you overanalyze, you think too much, that's going to be the key to your failure, no matter what you do in steps 1 through 8. You can be as passionate as possible. You can be focused on profits and making decisions and really focused on those 4 powers. Your talent, skills, education and experience, but it means absolutely nothing if you don't do something. You must do something. You must be in the art of the now and make something happen. You don't need perfection, but you do need action. You can fine-tune anything, but you can't fine-tune action. You just have to go out and make it happen. The difference between those who do and those who don't are the ones that always do. In other words, you have to be in motion, always continually moving, especially in today's society. We are in such a fast-moving society. It's more important to have speed to action over anything else. You have to move quickly and act quickly. You've just got to go. Don't worry about things. Don't overthink things. In fact, don't even think about it. As soon as you've learned 1 through 8, you've written them down, go make it happen. Step 10. Persistence. The people who succeed the most fail the most. Not because they fail the most, but because they would never give up. Let's take Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth has 700 home runs, yet almost 1,400 strikeouts. That's how the majority of successful people are. The majority of successful people do fail. They just didn't give up. The majority of people won't take step 9. They'll go through steps 1 through 8 and not do a darn thing. The majority of people who took step 9 gave up at step 10, pursuing, persisting, going after their goal. The people who are going to be the most successful are the ones who are not only going to understand how money works through profit and their mentality and their passion in making decision and using their 4 talents and taking action, but they're going to be the ones who just don't give up. They don't take no for an answer. They may not have gotten over the wall, but they may have gotten around the wall or under the wall or through the wall, whatever it takes to get where they want to go. They're not going to quit. If that's you, then you will make it. No matter what obstacles are against you, you will make it. This is the most important part of Awaken. You can take actions over and over and over, but where the majority of people stop in their tracks and truly fail is when they don't persist. The true definition of failure has nothing to do with you not getting the results you want. The true definition of failure is never persisting, never going at it again and again and again. If you have the power of persistence, you will go far in life. Persistence is the anchor to the 10 steps to discovering how to leverage your talents for wealth in Awaken, pursuing your dreams. Let's recap. Know what you're passionate about. Understand how profit works. Have a clear understanding of the decisions you must make to remove the things and the people who are not working. Build a positive mental powerhouse. Leverage your talent, your skills, your education and your experience. Action. Pursue your dreams. This is all you need to take life to the next level. The most important thing you can do right now is read this again and again, until you understand and begin to take action and begin to pursue the life that you deserve. How to use your talent to make money. A step-by-step guide. In this video, we'll explain why you should start using your talent to make money. In today's day and age,